One needs three things to have an engine start. So if you drag some bike out of the weeds, or somebody gives it to you, or suddenly your bike isn't starting, you got to really ask yourself the question, do I have the following three things? The first thing you need is a intact engine. And I'm going to use the word intact because if your valves aren't opening and closing when they're supposed to be, if they're not sealing right, if you don't have enough compression, any of those things from an engine block point of view will make it so that it doesn't start. The other two things you need would be spark and carburation. It doesn't really pay for me to try to get this thing to spark if, once again, the engine is not intact, and it really doesn't matter if there's a carburetor on it if, once again, this engine isn't intact. So normally what I like to do, I like to take the spark plug out just to make sure it's not full of water or something, right? I don't want to hydro the whole thing. So I take the spark plug out and I try to turn the engine over. And in the case of this engine, I got a bit of a disappointment. What this engine is missing, it's missing all the gears. And by the way, when it did that and I went to turn it over, you can see the kind of condition it's in. So that's not at all a good thing. Off camera, I did turn it over by hand a few times, just once again to make sure there was nothing stopping it, that it didn't jump time, and that there were no bad issues. I put the compression gauge on it and I checked it, and I came up with 120 psi, which is about right, about what these things come in at. So it appears as if my engine is supposedly intact, and if I put a carburetor, and assuming this thing will spark, right, I should just have to hook up to the blue, hopefully there's a white stripe on it, and the green, and hopefully that'll give me a spark. And once I have a spark and the carburetor on it, it should start right up, assuming I could kick it over quick enough. So we'll give it a shot. Time for a cold start, right? Nice cold start. Carburetor, I put gas in it, and I guess you can't see the ball. There you go. You can see the ball, there's gas in it. I have the red wire of the jump box to the blue. I have the black wire to green or ground. And I hooked up the other black wire to the case. Spark plug wire on. Here's the throttle control. I'll turn that box on in a second. Let me set up the camera so that you guys can watch. Okay, let's see if she kicks over. I had to put oil in it, obviously. It's a kind of necessary thing. Trying to put it in reverse. move. Seems to be leaking oil like a sieve. I mean, pouring out of there. Okay, see it? I guess it's missing some bolts. I hate bikes that leak oil. Hate. So this one starts, runs, it could move. It's got a lot of annoying things wrong with it. It doesn't have the gears for the starter. Strike one. It's oil's pouring out of it. Strike two. I don't know. Let's say I build this out for $200. I say this is $200 out of the $300 deal. What did I get out of it? I got a set of back tires that seem to hold air. I got a set of front tires that hold air. The rear end seems okay. The shocks seem okay. I really haven't looked at the carburetor. Carburetor has, you know, one of those plunger chokes that has some issues. I don't know. Maybe I did okay for 200 bucks, but it's less than I expected. I guess I expected these gears to work, and I didn't expect it to be leaking oil all over the place. Got a complete exhaust system too. I don't know. Would you, now that you guys know everything there is to know about it, right? Would you have bought this? You know what the plastics look like. They're the black ones. Right? This could be cleaned up. You heard it run. It actually sounds pretty good though. It didn't seem to smoke. I didn't run it that long, but it didn't, you know, it didn't seem to smoke. It actually sounded pretty good. It went into gear fairly easily. All that seems to be functioning. It's got no brakes. The wiring is completely wrecked. I mean, I could get around it, but, you know, for some of you other guys, that might not be quite as easy. I don't know. Was it worth 200? I'll let you guys answer that for me. Maybe it's just missing some bolts, because as I look around this cover, right? No bolt, bolt, no bolt. Bolt, 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 no bolt. I really hate bikes that leak oil though. Well, you guys see what I see, and you know what I know. Let me know, would you have paid $200 for this rig, knowing everything you know now? And then we'll look at the other one, and the question will be, would you have paid $100 for all the rest of the parts? Or would you have paid $300 for the deal? I don't know. When I look at the other stuff, we'll figure it out. I want to thank everybody for watching though, and taking the time to provide me with advice and commenting. I enjoy the interaction. Please stay in touch. I want everyone to keep their feet down, their heads up, and get out there and enjoy each and every day. How much change are the leaves yet out by me? They're falling, but they really haven't changed color. Alright, bye now.